What's up, guys? It's Zach, and today I'm going to do another 20 questions in 20 minutes or less. And if you guys don't know who I am, I'm a Division I baseball player, but my goal of this YouTube channel is eventually to grow it into like a Joe Rogan style podcast where I'm interviewing some amazing, interesting people. And I don't care if it takes 10 years or whatever. I really want to do this, so I'm going to stick through it. But right now, I'm just sharing my perspective, and hopefully we'll get other people on one day. So that wasted like 25 seconds of my 20 minutes. I'm using ChatGPT. I'm going to ask for 20 unique questions that I can answer on this channel. 20, give me 20 unique questions that I can answer that likely haven't been asked before. This is going to be a tough one. If they haven't been asked before, we'll see how interesting chat can be, how creative they can be. All right, first question. I just asked it. I've never read these before. They're brand new. What's a belief that you hold that would completely change how someone lives if they actually believed it? You guys are going to get annoyed with me eventually, but I always have my Bible next to me because I know that in these videos I will somehow share the Bible. Um, that's the one answer. That's the one answer. If you truly believe in God, you will change how you live. You will change how you live. You will change how you will do things, and you're not going to be perfect because I'm the opposite of perfect. I'm going to fail in so many ways, but Paul writes so much in the Bible, especially in Romans and also in other books, about how while we're going to fail and there's a part of us that just like our flesh seems to desire these evil and dark things. And you may not think they're evil, but the more you're connected with your Christianity, the more you're going to realize how those things are dark, but there's still going to be a part of you that's always going towards it. So that's not going to say that you're not going to sin more, but you're going to recognize it and you're going to want to go away from it more. And eventually there are certain things that are going to become less desirable to you. So that really changes your life and it changes your perspective because there's a lot of earthly things that seem great, but the more you look at it and the more you think about it from a different perspective, which I'd love to go into at a different time, really the more you'll change and the more you'll think about things in a different light. So read the Bible. I really encourage you to read the Bible because it's so much different once you read it versus just what you hear at Sunday school or whatever. So there's that. Got a little itch on my face, but if every achievement you've ever earned disappeared tomorrow, what part of you would still exist? Well, I believe my intelligence would still exist, and I believe the gifts that God gave me would still exist. So those two things are really all I need. I have my intelligence and the gifts that God gave me, right? Um, and obviously, more importantly, not more importantly than God, but more importantly than my intelligence, I'd have my family and the people that I love and care about. And I would use those gifts that God gave me. I wouldn't have any of the achievements that I've had before, but I would work hard to maximize those gifts. It's like the parable of the talents. You could have one talent or 20 talents, but our job is to maximize them. Whatever gifts you have, maximize those gifts. So that's an important thing. And I think it's really, oh my goodness. And I think it's really helpful. All right. What's something society rewards that you secretly think is a trap? I don't think it's a trap because I really think it's something that's super, super important. But society rewards groupthink, right? Groupthink in a lot of different ways. And I think we need that social connection. It's the reason I struggled for so long is I tried to be my own version of myself, ultra disciplined, ultra this, ultra that. But it kept me from really being a good teammate and a good team player. There's an aspect of that that's there. But if there's a certain level of groupthink where it becomes divisive, where because my friend thinks this, my friend thinks that this person's dumb, or my friend thinks that this person is evil, or my friend thinks that this person is a bad person, I'm going to think that too. And I think that's where we struggle. We use other people's opinions of others to judge others. And the Bible teaches us not to judge others, but I think that's very true. And I also think it's important that if we are going to judge people, which I don't think we should ever do because it's not our role, but if we all end up doing it. So I can't say that I don't judge people because I do and everyone does. But when we do, I think it is our obligation to get to know that person more, to try to get to know the most of that person from our own perspective and not from the thoughts of other people, even if they're people that we respect. I think that the people that we respect have a good baseline maybe because you know who they are and you can listen to them, but you should really listen to yourself and learn about that other person because there's sometimes sometimes people, how do I say this? You never know where someone's been. Someone has had a different childhood than you. Someone has a different experience than you growing up. Someone has had a different experience of you than you during that exact same day. So don't judge for someone based on that, and just try to get to know them, and then make your decision. That took a long time. What truth did you not? Sorry. What truth did you only understand after failing, not after succeeding? I love this question. I answered this kind of in my last video, but um, I always thought hard work and consistency would get me to the next level. I'm a D1 baseball player. I thought if I just work hard, I just practice my butt off, I just play to the best of my ability in all sorts of ways, I would make it to the next level, and it would be kind of like this, because I thought, well, I have the size, I have the speed, I have the talent. Now all I just have to do is maximize those things. But you know what I ignored? I ignored my friendships, my relationships, the team culture of a lot of teams. And it took me really failing at D1 baseball this last season, really, really failing, hitting sub 200 for over halfway through the year, um, not being close with my teammates, being in cliquey environments to realize how wrong I was, because I was putting in the work. There was no question about that. But there's more to work than to find success. It's more than just work. There's a lot of other aspects that are involved. And part of it is, being able to be that team guy, being able to be the good person, being able to be there for someone when they are struggling too, because not everybody's going to be perfect all the time. Um, if your 12-year-old self watched you for 1 week, what would surprise them? Sorry. If your 12-year-old self watched you for 1 week, what would surprise them the most? I think they would be surprised at the fact that I can still find success without being completely disciplined. I was so ingrained. Goes back to the last question. I was so ingrained that I need to get my 8 hours. I need to get my workouts in. I need to do this. Even at 12 years old, I believe that. I needed to eat so healthy. I couldn't eat chocolate or couldn't do this. And it wasn't anything to do with my parents. It wasn't anything to do with anybody else. I just really put that on my heart and believed it, right? And I think he would be surprised to see that that's partially true. You need to put in the work. You need to get those hours in, but there's more to that. There's more to life than that, and that you can still find success without being 100% in those categories. And oftentimes you'll find more success because you're not draining your mental side as much. You're finding a way to live that middle ground while still attacking with all of your heart the gifts that God's put on your heart. There's something about that. If you're spending hours and hours and hours thinking about something, that it makes you almost psychotic, and it makes you think about something to a point where you're over analyzing and you're messing yourself up. It's not good. So that's why you need that moderation, so you can keep yourself from overthinking. It's super important in baseball, because you can take a swing and be like, oh, that didn't feel perfect, and then take another one, then take another one. All of a sudden you're changing your swing, you're changing mechanics, when at the end of the day, you hit the ball really hard the first one. Like, that's the reality. So I'm taking a lot longer on these questions than yesterday, but I'm going to find a way to make it under 20 minutes. Question number 6. What's something that you wish people complimented more than, sorry, I'm going to read this so I can be 100%. What's something you wish people complimented more than success? I wish people complimented the leader and the person that you are, right? I think there's more to that than success. I think success is really important, because success sometimes gives you the elevator to be that leader, to be that person that is there for other people. So success is vital, but there's a lot of amazing people out there that kind of get overlooked because of their lack of success in certain aspects in sports or business or whatever it may be. Not saying that's not important, because you should go after those things, but there are also other aspects. And I think one of those is being a good leader, a good teammate, and a good person that can really guide others towards being better as well, because that's the end goal, right? We want to lift everyone up, not just bring ourselves up to the top, because there's more to life than that. Question number 7. It is currently 9:34 in the video, so I'm about halfway. If you had to delete one emotion from humanity forever, if you had to delete one emotion from humanity forever, which one would actually make the world worse? One emotion. That's crazy. I think every emotion is vital, but um, I'm going to take a take on this. I don't think there's one emotion that would make the world better or worse. We need our emotions. Let's say we removed anger, because anger is supposed to be negative, right? We removed anger. We would see bad things happening. We would see bad things happening and not want to do anything to fix it. We would see bad things happen and just sit there and watch and not feel any sort of emotion. While the Bible says it's very important to forgive, even God feels anger in the Bible. So if God's feeling those emotions, we should too. Um, what's a goal you realized that you wanted because other people wanted it first? Um, I think almost every goal that we have in life is pretty unoriginal. There's someone out there, like I want to create a worldwide podcast like Joe Rogan level. There's someone out there that wants it. I want to become one of the best baseball players of all time. There's someone out there that wants it. So there's not any one particular goal. Maybe it's not the best to, I don't think having an unoriginal thought is necessarily bad, because you can want that goal in an you can want that goal in an individual way. So it's good. You're fine. I don't think that's a crazy question. Um, if someone copied your daily routine exactly, what kind of person would they become? That's a good question, because I'm definitely not a perfect person. I stay up way too late at night. That's a negative. I'm on my phone too much. So there's some negatives out there, but I also reflect a lot of the time. I like to open up the Bible. I wish I did it more. I don't do it as much as I should. So there's that. But I think they would become a good person. I think that they would realize that I'm working on a lot of things and I'm not perfect. But I think in the end, they would be getting better each day, because that is my goal. I'm working to maximize the gifts that I think God has put in my heart and given me, whether that's my athletic ability, my um, relationship with Sarah, my parents, my schoolwork. I think they would get 1% better or more each day. So I think that's good. Question number 10. What's something you've changed your mind about that you're glad that you were wrong about? Um, I used to see the world in entirely black and white. I just use the word entirely, but I used to say it's always this, or it's never this, or it's this or that or whatever, and there's no in between. I looked at things in a way that I was all either completely right or completely wrong about. But the reality is, I think almost everything has a spectrum, and a lot of the times the spectrum lands right closer to the middle than we realize. So that's one thing that I'm glad. I'm starting to see the gray in things, and I think that's an important aspect of life. Um, question number 11. What invisible competition do you think people are playing without realizing it? I think everybody wants to be better than the person next to them. I think people see it subconsciously and they're saying, I want to be better. They do, whether we realize it or not. We should work to lift everyone up, but no one is perfect in that way. There's no one that's saying, like, well, I want to be a big leaguer, but I want him to be just as good as me. There might be people like that, but I think in our head we see, oh, there's even to a certain extent where, oh my goodness, there's Shohei Ohtani. There's someone out there that wants to be better than Shohei Ohtani, and there's someone out there that probably will be one day, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But um, I think sometimes people don't really recognize it right away. Question number 12? What's a lie that feels true because every sorry, I need to work on reading these things. Question number 12. What's a lie that feels true because everyone repeats it? Um, people are going to come out. No, I don't know. What's a lie that feels true because everyone repeats it? What's a lie that feels true because everyone repeats it? You know what? That kind of stumped me. I'm going to come back to that because I don't have that much time. So remember, question number 12, we'll come back to. Question number 13. If your life had chapter titles, what would this chapter honestly be called? I think it would be called The Intro, to be honest. I'm 21 years old. My life is really just beginning. I've had some ups, some downs. Maybe you would call it the rebuild, because I think this is a point in my life where I am growing in baseball and I can really make it. And I think it's also a time in my life where I can make it in social media and so many other aspects. So maybe you'd call it the rebuild, but I think it's the intro. It's a time where I have the base knowledge that I need, but so much more knowledge left to gain and to experience and to talk with people about. So I think it'd be called the intro. And I think I'm going to be continually working up. I'm going to have more ups and downs, but that's what life is, right? It's a roller coaster. We're going to learn, but a lot of times that learning comes from failure. Um, Question number 14. Question number 14. What's something that used to motivate you, but now makes you feel tired? I got stumped again. These are good questions. All right. Question number 15. If fear could only speak one sentence to you, what would it keep repeating? I think it would be something broad. I think it would be something like, you're not good enough, or something like that, because there could be something specific, and maybe that would hit me harder right away, but I'd find a way to overcome that. But I think a broad statement would eventually overcome my subconscious. And I think that's why it's so important to speak positive thoughts. I need to work on it a lot. But instead of saying, please don't strike out, or I hope I can, or I, I don't know. Instead of saying, please don't strike out, or please don't miss this, or please don't fail this test, I think we should say that I'm going to get a hit. I'm going to ace this test. I'm going to do some amazing things, whatever it may be in that category, because I think it tricks our subconscious mind into believing that we're able to do it. Um, Question 16. What's one habit that quietly changed your life more than any big decision ever did? Reflection and reading the Bible. This thing, read the Bible. God will answer your prayers. I can promise you, God will answer your prayers if you read the Bible. It's incredible. I will pray and ask for something, and in the weirdest and strangest ways, I will open up to the exact verse I need. Or even more, sometimes it's not even from opening the Bible. Sometimes I just notice it. But the more I read the Bible, the more I notice God around me. So there's that habit. I don't know what the other thing I said is. This is number one. So it doesn't even matter. This is number one. All right. Question number 17. We're on an okay track. What question do you think every 20-year-old should ask themselves before chasing success? I am only 21 years old. I am about to be 22, so I don't have the best answer for that. But I would say, are you happy doing this? Is this something that you really see yourself doing for the next 20, 30, whatever it may be years? Because, I've spent my life playing baseball, and I love baseball. So I hear people and they're like, I hope I can get this done with. I hope I can do that. I don't think that's something worth chasing, because that's not what's really on your heart. You have something else on your heart. And I think when you find that thing, that's what you should pursue. Um, Question number 18. What's something that you've lost that made your life better? It wasn't any person or anything, but losing myself in baseball has helped me so much. I lost myself at TCU. I got cut from TCU. I lost myself for a little bit at Central. I thought I was going to quit baseball. In high school, there was times where I thought I was going to quit baseball, even as a top 50 prospect. And then at LMU this year, 100%. Imagine batting 150 when my goal was to get drafted. Like, oh my goodness. But in each of those times, I turned to God, and God gave me a sign. In each and every one of those times when I was right about to quit, like literally, I was saying, God, give me a sign if you want me to quit. And I would get a sign that it was unimaginable, and I would get a sign that would keep me going. It would keep me going and keep me pursuing my dream and my goal and my love for the game. So because of the things that broke me in baseball, I've grown so close to God, and I'm so grateful for it. Um, Question number 19. If someone could hear your internal dialogue for one day, what would they misunderstand about you? I think hearing my internal dialogue would help them understand me more, to be honest. I think they would see that there are things that I am passionate about. Sometimes people don't see that I'm fully passionate about things. So they would see some of those passions. And they would also see a lot of times I'm thinking versus not talking, why I say things, whatever it may be. I think internal dialogue would actually help people. What's one sentence you've heard that still changes how you make decisions years later? Um, Whatever you do, turn to God first. I know this is like a Christian heavy one, but I really believe question 20, what's one sentence you've heard that still changes how you make decisions years later? Pray to God first. Whatever you do, pray to God first. I have less than 30 seconds basically. So question number 12, what's a lie that feels true because everyone repeats it? Um, I think that goes back to subconscious thing. Um, Lying to ourselves, saying that we aren't good enough. I think we are good enough, but we just have to believe it full heartedly. And question number 14, what is something that used to motivate you, but now makes you feel tired? I think the idea of beating someone else or beating out someone else, I don't think that's the goal. I think it should be to lift people up, but I also think that it should be to focus on the gifts that God's given us to benefit other people as well as ourselves, versus the negative where we're trying to use those gifts to be better than someone else. So those are my 20 questions in 20 minutes or less. I did it just barely. Three, two, one, stop.